Hi, good afternoon. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. We are just coming this afternoon. We weren't scheduled to be here today or this afternoon, but I was reminded by a story that I posted a little while ago that some people are really going through a tough time right now. I didn't need to be reminded of it, but what I was reminded of was a time that happened a decade ago, 10 to 12 years ago, and everyone that was a homeowner, everyone that owned any type of property knows what happened with our stocks and our mortgages. It was a difficult time. Now, there are two sides to that story, but it was a difficult time nonetheless. So I just wanted to remind people, I know that I believe that in October they said a couple of million, and I should have had that popped up, but I believe they said a couple of million people had their homes go into forbearance. And I just want everyone to be aware of what that means. And there was an act called the CARES Act that allowed people, especially with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac mortgages owned by them or held by them. And there are also private lenders that are doing this. Forbearance. The CARES Act gave you up to a year of forbearance. Now, we're going to be coming up on that year within the next few months. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone is staying on top of that. Stay on top of it because you need to know exactly what's going on there. 10 to 12 years ago, 13 years ago, we had a time where we went into short sales. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about short sales once again. Things are different. Things are different right now. Hopefully, most of us have equity in our homes at this point because our standards for lending have changed a bit. And that makes it great for homeowners at this point. And ever since 2010, our property values have been going up. They've been on a steady incline. Now, there are areas in the country where the steady incline is very small. It's 1%. It's 0.5%. It's 2%. But most of the homes that went through this a decade ago have all recovered all the value that was lost. And places like that are on the coast, let's say California, for instance, our property values have basically doubled in the last decade. So we got to take a look at that. So that means a clip of 10% a year. So we have to understand that. So almost everyone has recovered that went through this 10 years ago. Hey, Lynn, thank you for coming in. So I just wanted to go over this really quickly. So I mentioned short sales. I did many short sales over a 2 to 3 year period, maybe a 4-year period. I was normally on the listing side, but there were some great stories from the buying side too. We were able to, I had a couple of first-time home buyers that I was especially proud. The people that had owned the homes that they had been in were in terrible loans, which they should have never had, so they couldn't afford their properties. So I helped a couple of young couples that were able to get into their homes, but we had to fight up until the last minute because they were getting ready to be sold at the courthouse steps. But we fought until the last minute to get those homes saved and get a couple of, well, one was a single young lady and one was a young married couple. And their home that they bought 10 years ago, they sold a couple of years ago and nearly made, well, they made over double what they paid for their home. And that's what can happen. We have an economy that took off. Our economy right now is still great. We have a lot of people out of work because of the pandemic, but our economy is still good, and we're hoping that it holds for these next couple of years. We want to see workers returning back to their workplaces. We're gonna have a tough time with some restaurants and such. We've had a lot of businesses go under, and a lot of those people that had businesses, they also had homes. So it makes it very difficult. So we know that there are going to be sad stories that are going to happen along the way. Fortunately, a lot of people can recover from this. And that's what this is. This is a story of hope. This is a story that you can get yourself into forbearance, have those payments held off, and then go ahead and work to get out from behind. Get out from where you are right now. One of the things I want to tell people about forbearance is you need to make sure that you understand exactly what the bank is telling you. If they're telling you that you have to make up payments over a few month period, and you can't do that, you need to be able to talk with your bank and get them to work with you. If you can't make those payments up, maybe you can go ahead and refinance, see if that would work. But this should not damage your credit. This should be held off because we are going through a pandemic. And this is nothing that mortgage brokers and lenders, our big banks, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, it's nothing that they haven't been through. This is something that we have to work with. So I'm just telling you, do the best job that you can with your lender. If you need help with that, there are people that can help you. Check with your local realtor. If you would like to give me a call, I would be glad to talk with you and give you some of the direction that I've had in the past. And if you need the help, we can certainly talk to the bank on your behalf by you signing a letter for us to do that. And that's what we try and do. We want to make sure that you're in the best shape to come out of this pandemic and still be a homeowner and still feel good about the place that you're living in. And that's our biggest thing. I want to make sure that we do that. So again, the CARE Act or the CARES Act was the part of the government's helping the economy to stay alive, where they help small businesses and some businesses that weren't so small. But the CARES Act was helping homeowners. And we need you, if you need the help, you need to take part in that immediately if you haven't done so in the past. Things have changed a little bit. We know that the pandemic is, a lot of places are locked down. Let's say for my home state in California, we are in San Jose, we're under one of the strictest lockdowns that there is. So there are some people that can't go to work, and there's just nothing to it. There's nothing that we can do. We can fight about it. We can argue it, but we are not going to get through this on our own. We're going to need some help. So I want again just to touch base with you. If you have thought about a short sale, if you have thought about selling your home, think about it. Is that what you really want to do? Let's try and save your home. If there's any way that you can, do it. Let's try and save it. Let's make selling your home your last option, the final option. Unless you decided, hey, I'm going to move out of this area. I need to sell my home just to be able to eat, because the money that we're getting right now is just not enough to cover anything. That's understandable. What I would suggest, and this is one of the things that we had everyone, and I helped an awful lot of people during the short sales and while we were going through the forbearance period a dozen years ago. You need to write out a letter, exactly what has happened to you over this period. You need to make a list of your expenses, everything that you're paying for. Just list them out, group your utilities, group what your mortgage payment is, separate out your first and second mortgage. If you have a first and second, if you just have a first, obviously just the first, and then any of your credit card debt, car payments, anything that you have, try and group them together. And I just want to make sure that you have everything lined up, because I'm starting to hear some stories that I'm not real keen about and not keen on, is that people are selling their homes because they've kind of given up. And that's not what we want. We want you to go ahead and fight it out. See if you can save your home. And that's what a lot of realtors would like to help you do. If there is no way that you can save your home, then obviously we will give you a hand selling your home. But we want to take a look at every option possible to help you save your home, and give you whatever guidance that we can. But it is up to you to work with the banks. If you haven't already got a forbearance plan and you are out of work, it is time to do it now. Do it now before everything stops. Now, with a new president coming in, there may be changes. There may be some new options coming up. So be sure and talk with your banks, because the last thing that you want to do is let your house be foreclosed on. If there's any other option for you, take advantage of it and keep fighting. I am all for the person that wants to try and fight this out. Fight it out. Do whatever you need to do to try and save your home, if that's what you want to do. And I understand. Believe me, I understand firsthand. Now, back 10 or 12 years ago, I helped a lot of people that weren't necessarily in trouble, but we didn't know what was going to happen during this time when the economy crashed. Had no idea. Well, our homes in San Jose recovered within 4 years. There was like a shark feeding for several years, or 2 to 3 years, with people just buying homes left and right because they were getting them so cheap. And because of that, some have went up, 100+%. So we want realtors across the country will work to help you save your homes. One of the things that we have to have is ethics, and the ethics to guide you in the proper manner. And if you've got somebody that just wants to sell, that's not the right person. You get the best advice that you can possibly get and get the help that you need. Now, if you're in the Bay Area or anywhere around the Bay Area, you can certainly give me a call. I had several years of experience working with the banks. I helped many families save their homes a decade ago. And it is all about learning what the bank's procedures are and exactly what is needed. Because there might be some banks that will help you in a very generous manner. We just have to remind all the banks that, hey, we bailed you out. We gave you almost free money. We need help again. We need help now, and you're in the position to give us a hand. And that's, it's going to be difficult for a single realtor to do it, but attorneys can do it, and our Congress and Senate can do it. They can apply the pressure to say, hey, America needs a hand, and you hold the mortgages. Give our families a hand. So, if you need any help, you can reach me at my cell phone. You can text me, email me at Coachman, ONRE @gmail.com. Take a look at my website. And if there is anything at all I can do with you, give you any advice on getting through this period, I'd be glad to do it. And I should just remind you that we are going to be having a guest this Thursday morning. Let's see, Rochelle Yadagari, and she is with Prosperity Home Mortgage. That will be at 9 a.m. on Thursday. And if there's a chance for you to come and visit during that time and catch our show, 9 a.m. to about 9:30 West Coast time, we would love to have you there and love you to share this out. So if you have any questions, once again, any questions on forbearance plans, working with your lender, what you need to line up for your lender, and if you have any questions on short sales or selling your home, I would be glad to talk with you, and I am available throughout the day. You have yourselves a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. We will be in on Thursday morning, of course. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.